topic in regards of vegetarian and in regards of meat. And you know, I was a vegetarian for many many years, and it actually just made my health issues worse. You see, in regards of vegetarian and all that bullshit, one of the reasons why I became a vegetarian was that I saw these videos in regards to the animals, and of course that's sad, right? The animals should have a good life, and we should do the best to our ability to treat them well. That's biblical as well in regards of treating animals right. That doesn't mean we can't eat them. But anyway, I was a vegetarian for many, many, many years, and I'm not anymore. I went down the wrong road in regards to my health. And yeah, I was just feeding the fungi sugar, 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 and more sugar. There's a lot of sugar in all these things. You have fruits, you have plants, bread, it's just sugar, 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 sugar. So if you have a fungus issue, you might just be feeding the fungi because it loves sugar. Of course, there's other problems. Now, of course, in regards of the thing is, you do when you eat only vegetables and fruit. For example, that's mostly what I ate. You do get on the toilet a couple of times a day, but it's one of the you have a lot of, what shall we say, it goes out in easy. It's just not so messy. It's actually, you have like a clean many times, where you don't even need to wipe. But yeah, so even if you're on the toilet 3 times a day, it goes pretty quick. The point in regards of health. Now, we have so many ways of destroying our health in our days. And our society is just, we can't even get raw milk, because raw milk is apparently just the most devilish thing you can drink, apparently. Oh, really? So why would that be? It's something that I've been drinking for hundreds and hundreds of years, and now we give it a Hitler with a Holocaust treatment. And I'm like, that doesn't, researching and all that, they just destroy enzymes, vitamins, and the good bacteria in the milk. Now, if there's a product with the milk coming out of the cow, could it be because you're treating the cows wrong? Maybe not getting them the real food that their natural food sources. Maybe putting the antibiotics, which is just against life. Oh, really? Yeah. So anyway, so we give them fungi poison. We give them we give them unnatural food sources. We pretty much push them to the limit of production of milk, quantity over quality. And we put them in unnatural environments and all that. And then we are surprised that the product coming out of the cow. Yeah, but no, let's just destroy the milk even further, and let's warm it up. Let's, destroy the enzymes, let's destroy the vitamins and the good bacteria. Yeah, let's just do that, because this is a nutcase world that we live in, right? Because people have been drinking this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years without any problems. But now it's just, but hey, you can't get raw milk. Kilometers to get it. I can't get it anywhere because it's illegal. They're not allowed to sell it in the stores or whatever. It's not like they don't want to, but they're not allowed to. Oh yeah, so I'm with the consumer. We're being put in the jail, and our health declines, and we get sick and more sick and all that. And now you want to have the people go on a vegetarian diet as well, making them even more. Now that I'm a meat eater again, I didn't stop eating meat because I didn't like meat, because I love meat, I always loved meat. I just saw these videos and seeing how the animals had it, and I'm not, I wouldn't support that. That was just horrible. Of course, we want the animals to have a good life. Absolutely. But you can't just take away a food source that is just wonderful and red meat. The less sugar, the better, because I'm feeding this monster in me that I'm still battling. But It's I think it's going in the right direction, but time will tell. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's just it's nonsense, and you people out there, when you're attacking people that goes on a meat diet and begin to feel better again, having all their health issues disappears and all that, and actually going on meat diet, and then red meat is, as far as I can see, red meat is the best. Cow or lamb. I haven't tried goat because that's a little impossible to. I guess this should be able to get it somewhere, in Denmark, but it's not something that is the norm in this country. Mostly it's unclean pig, which is of course unclean, so we shouldn't eat that either, according to the Bible, right? That of course that actually tastes pretty good. It's like candy nearly when you get going on it. I would suggest the smaller ones, the medium ones. They're easier to eat and they taste better. There's more flavor in them. And I'm not entirely sure how to describe the flavor, but it's a different flavor. But there's, as I understand, a lot of good vitamins in regards of fat soluble vitamins and all that. And again, that is taste of less, and it's harder to chew them up and all that. So I would go with the smaller ones and in frozen state or something like that. I guess natural would probably be best, but I've tried dry frozen and frozen. Dry frozen takes a lot of the taste out of it. So frozen is the best. As they're considered clean animals. We're not talking the legs thing and all that, and then they have to, I think, fly, as I understand it. That, and if they can do that, that's considered clean. Yeah, and I think locust goes in under that. Now that's different. Anyway, getting back to it. So people are tagging people going off the vegan diet, and are you even concerned about their health? If people are going actually removed, how can you attack these people for going on a diet that actually helps them to get rid of their health issues? You're not concerned about their health, or is the animals more important to you than people? And of course, we want, of course, actually, I think a lot of the people actually eating only meat are but yeah, so the problem is to get the information out to the public, to the concerned public, because the food industry is messing out our food. It's interesting, right? And those health food bullshitters and all that are, those that government in regards of health and all that are pretty much the persecutors of good food and ruin. It's like we can get soda pops everywhere. Every store has in our stores. Actually, the shops are, what do you call it in English? Booning. Is that the right word? Booning is just all over the shop, You really have to have a, hard time, actually you have a hard time finding natural good food, which has not been corrupted and full of sugar, and, it's incredible. So I think this is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. And I remember being a vegetarian. The meat actually helped on one of my issues. If I had taken this track earlier, I might actually have been, turned the boat around. But I was filling with myself with sugar, right? Because fruit and vegetables, well, at least fruit, lots of sugar. Yeah, anyway. So I was going down the wrong path. So I want to have a diet with pretty much none sugar, So yeah, you're just making it worse for yourself. And yeah, so I'm pretty much. Oh, by the way, did I actually have some meat, or did I actually eat that? So I'm pretty much on a mostly meat now. Okay. I apparently didn't turn it on. Usually I would smell. Okay. So yeah, okay. I apparently turned it off. Put the meat on the plate and. People and trying to really be vicious and all that. If you really should be anything, you're just to stand on in regards to the animals having a good life. Having natural food sources and treating the animals correctly. I'm absolutely on that wagon, And in regards to slaughtering the animals, it should be on the best way possible to make them not suffer at all, the less. In regards to the suffering, we also want to give them natural food sources, and we don't want to pressure these poor animals into, giving a huge amount of milk that is just totally unnatural. And again, quantity before quality. We want quality products because then we are keeping the health. Now, of course, the medical system loves, the medical mafia loves us getting rules this world. The kingdom of heaven has yet to come on earth in regards of an establishment of Yeshua ruling from Jerusalem the nations of the world. But this is something coming in the future when the Roman emperor is going to be cast into the lake of fire. And by the way, the Roman emperor is the Antichrist. I don't know if anyone have told you about, but every Protestant in the past knew this as second nature. They all knew it, maybe because they read the Bible and knew real history and not these wolves in sheep clothing that has nothing to do with Christianity besides using it as a front facade. It's all pagan mystery religion in regards to Rome, and you actually have a beast, which you have Babylonian things, you have Medo-Persian things in the beast, and you have Grecian things in the beast, and of course Roman things in the beast, because the beast is Roman. You have all this pile of pagan bullshit together, and this system of the papacy or papacy is representing the Antichrist of the number 666. He represents the beast of the number 666. And Rome is the whore, the harlot that rules over the kings of the earth. So, anyway, now you know. But in regards to this thing, in regards to vegan bullshit, if people actually has gone into veganism, you have to be insane, You don't want people to have a good life? Of course, in regards of good life, the first, we're actually, I guess the second life, that's the thing that we're, the second time after we are, resurrected and all that. That's, of course, the goal that we shouldn't fear of being killed off, We should stand on truth, We should fear God, that's Jehovah in the heavens. I like to do that because that gives conflict, right? We want to be political correct. Who cares about political correctness? Do you know who the highest political power is in this world? Oh yeah, that's the Antichrist. That's the Roman emperor, the high pagan priest, the Pontifex Maximus, the triune tyrant, Yep. Anyway, with number 666. Yep, that's the guy in white. And of course he has the shadow, the black poop. They are the very, what shall we say, the front of the devil's attackers on the truth, They are turning now the so-called Protestants because the Protestants don't even know who they protested against anymore. So now the so-called Protestants are now running back to the Antichrist under the wings of the man of the number 666, the arch enemy of Yeshua HaMashiach. That's incredible. In regards to the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, knowing what is going on in the world, because the Bible actually talks about what is going on in this world, We have books written over 2,500 years talking about what is happening today. I think we probably have older books of that, but, at least, the book of Daniel, that's an old one. He wrote it in Babylon when the Jews was in Babylon. It lays down the whole things. It lays down the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, hundreds and hundreds of years, where fulfillment of the Bible is, fulfilled. Isn't that interesting? A book written over 2,500 years. I think that's pretty incredible. Maybe someone knew the beginning from the ending in regards to the visions that the prophet Daniel got. And then we have the book of Revelation, right? In regards of written by the hand of the, write these things down and so forth. Yep. Anyway, so that's a book that is over 900 years old, and it's writing about what is happening in our days as well. And you begin to get all the puzzle pieces together and all that. Hey, maybe someone knew something. Maybe someone actually, Anyway, It's just incredible. It's open your eyes and figure out what is going on in this world. This world is full of you know, the ecumenical bullshit movement of Satan, going back to the Antichrist. Yeah, that sounds like a very bad idea. Yeah, but the Jesuits, which we don't even know anything about, right? We don't even know they're out there working. Maybe you should read the Jesuit oath, Yeah. My country that I live in is actually mentioned at least twice, I think it is, as enemies. Names and Christian this and all that and all that. It's pure Satanism. It is pure, pure Satanism. That's the right word, right? It's pure Satanism. And Roman Catholicism are worshipping a cookie, a dry wafer. And they believe they sacrifice this cookie that the priest apparently had this power to make into, to God, right? They're making God. And they think to sacrifice Yeshua all over again and again. All the bullshit that they suck to, what do you call it? Like sucking every bullshit, to, I remember a quotation in regards of every wicked thing comes to Rome. It's just like, Rome is like this hole of pagan bullshit, all these wicked things. Anyway, now of course the horse riding on the beast, the authority of the beast. And of course the beast have gotten his authority, dominion, okay? Lots of names for that guy, for that being, whatever you want to call, it's like incredible. Oh, you're all liars and deceivers out there. It seems, the Christmas, what has Christmas to do with anything? It's pagan bullshit. What has Easter to do with anything? It's pagan bullshit. What has Sunday to do with anything in regards of the weekly venerated day of soul and victory? Pagan bullshit. Oh yeah, it's all pagan bullshit. Maybe we should go back to the Bible. Oh, by the way, let's not forget the pagan Roman New Year of Janus with two heads looking in both directions, right? In regards to January, in the winter. So what does the Bible say about the New Year? Oh, it's not in winter. Oh, surprise, surprise. We're not doing as the Bible says. Oh! No one seems to want to do it as written in the Bible. So what does our God, our Creator, actually say about it? Oh yeah, it's in spring. Oh really? Yeah, it's in spring, Not that he actually say we are needing to celebrate it. It's not a command at all. But I'm like, if you're going to keep the New Year, at least do it right, Anyway, and Christ Mass. What is Christ Mass? Execute Yeshua all over again for the living and the dead. Yeshua died once and for all on the tree for the sins of the world as a ransom nearly 2,000 years ago. Do this in remembrance of me. He said, break the bread, drink the wine, do this in remembrance of me. He's not saying that this bread is literally his body and this wine is literally his blood. This is symbolic. Look at how Yeshua was teaching. He was teaching in symbolic language, parables, so forth. Anyway, and the Roman Catholics want to twist, it's just incredible. They just repeat the bullshit that they get from a man instead of actually going to the Bible and actually doing some study and listening to the master. So anyway, so Christ Mass in regards to the Mass. Why do you think that the Antichrist is shown in the television? In the midnight on the Christ Mass. Well, because that's something to do with this, solo worship of the devil, worshiping the devil by, adultery or whoring with him. In regards of idols, cookies, images, icons, or worshipping a man. That's to be careful, in regards that is not God, in regards of course, Yeshua is God. That's okay. That's another thing. He was executed for and Yitzchak and Yaakov and so forward. He was there. Oh, he's just anyway, he's there from the very beginning. Let us make man in our image, in our likeness. Anyway, so yeah, so of course we should treat the animals okay, but we are not, of course, at the very beginning of creation, it doesn't seem like they were eating meat. But that is not that it's clean, that we should eat. And of course, God is concerned about the animal health being, that we are treating them good, And, if they are working animals and all that, that they get a day of rest on the seventh day, and all that. So he is absolutely concerned about the animals. And of course we should be concerned about the animals. And of course we want the animals to eat the real fish. So yeah. So I really don't understand this thing, of people attacking other people that actually try something that works for them, and then people wants to attack them. Yeah, it's a bit kidding me, it's just incredible. And I know, it's we don't want. Alright, the problem is it's hard to, in this wicked world, to figure out where you can where you can get it, because the so-called food administrations on whatever and all that are pretty much messing it all up, right? You can't even get raw milk. The raw milk, natural raw milk, like God has made it and all that, made the animals and make milk and all that. You can't even get that. I can't even get tallow in this nation, It doesn't really matter anyway, because it's unclean. It's not something that I'm allowed to eat anyway, according to the Bible. So, but you have all these unnatural fat sources now. You have shelves of weird oils with many different names and all that, which they didn't use in the past. But tallow, fat from a cow or fat from a sheep, no, you can't get that. Oh no, you can't get that. What? Okay. Well, of course, you can make it yourself if you, have meat and all that, and you can fix it up and all that. Just, it's incredible. Just the most natural food sources, is just ruined. And then they attack the cinnamon. Like, the healthiest things that is in the bakery, as far as I know. Do you know of anything that is more healthy in the bakery than cinnamon? Yeah, I can't remember anything that would be more. You have to be kidding me! And apparently, this is in regards to one research paper in Germany, and they still haven't responded to me in regards to this. I was like, so you're going haywire over one single research paper in Germany in regards to this cinnamon, it's dangerous and all, the liver. And this was tested on mice, if I remember correctly. Mice or rats, No, I think it was mice. There's nothing to do with humans, do you see a difference in regards to mice and humans? Because I don't trust these bullshitters anymore. I actually don't trust them. Because, one of these research things that they make in regards to meat. And they say, meat gets you cancer. Now, do you think they actually gave the mice something, or the rats, something that actually gives cancer? At the same time, they were feeding them meat. Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, so just because some research paper says something, of course, there's money, and a satanic agenda behind in regards to cinnamon, in regards to this so-called fake cinnamon. Oh, when did the cinnamon become fake? Oh yeah, but we have the true version of cinnamon. As far as I can see from the Bible, the so-called fake cinnamon is actually the cinnamon that is used in the Bible, as far as I remember of research. I might be wrong, but that's as far as I remember in regards to that research. It's cassia. And actually I've tasted these different cinnamon. You get a flavor thing out of that, and there's an antifungal as well. But it's just taste-wise, it's just too much more taste in the cassia than in the, what's it called, the other thing? I have it out there. But if there's only one report, as in regards of a German report, using it on mice, finding out, there's some problem with the liver and all that. By the way, they actually the thing that they say is dangerous and all that. Can't remember what it's called, but anyway, you can look that up for yourself. Cinnamon extract from what? What is it called? The other one, Ceylon. Is it I can't even remember. How is it that I could forget that? Sometimes I have too much in my head. So, this is a bullshit world, absolutely bullshit world. Oh yeah, they say this is real cinnamon, like Like this one is not real cinnamon apparently. As I understand it, it comes from the same, cinnamon family. But this might be better because the other ones are pretty, if you get it as sticks, they're pretty like, 3 millimeters, 2 to 3 millimeters in thickness. And you really have to chew it up before you actually, you might, there might be a, concern of actually ending up getting something in your throat, which wouldn't be nice. I think the other one might be better in regards to that. But what's it called? Cinnamon. We have the Latin name here. Ceylon. Ceylon, this is called actually the thing that they say is dangerous and all that for the liver and all that. Hey, give me some more research papers on that, right? If you're going to stand on one German research paper, giving it to mice, and hey, let me know what you also gave the mice besides the cinnamon, And then they just go after these bakeries. Just think about it. What could be more healthy than cinnamon in the bakeries? The bread? The sugar? I can't come up with anything. I can't really come up with anything at all. I think cinnamon is probably the healthiest thing that the bakeries was actually, putting in their products. But no, we can't have that. Oh, then the Food Administration of the government comes and knocks at your door. You're not allowed to use too much cinnamon. Because, mice have gotten liver cancer of eating cinnamon. Yeah, one report, the problem is when you actually look on PubMed, and PubMed is a collection of different research and all that, you actually see variations of the articles. Isn't that interesting? Some say this, oh yeah, this is working against this and that and all that, and then you see another paper saying the exact opposite. And it's like, something seems to be wrong here, How is it that some research papers, are talking, something must be wrong, right? Or some factors. Oh, this vitamin does this and that and positive and that, or, and then another article comes and say, no, it's totally wrong and this and all that. Someone is clearly lying. Someone is wrong, both can't be right. Someone is trying to deceive and lie, and the other seems, they just can't be both ways. So it's just incredible. And it's just this disgusting criminal world we live in because there's money out other people because, hey, who cares? We're too many people anyway. Let them die, let them suffer, let them perish, right? Because we're too many people anyway on this world. This is a satanic lie. It's utter bullshit. It has nothing to do with the truth. Of course, it makes it easier for people to just do that job, right? Because if you have a job, you can always say, well, that's my job. But that doesn't excuse you for doing something evil, Yeah, it's my job to kill the selling the soul. You would think that there was some good in people, right? But I found out that there's a lot more evil than goodness in people, It didn't even take that long to go astray after the worldwide flood. Here, God have destroyed the whole wicked world. They have gone totally astray. And yet, even when they know the flood has been around not long ago, they're straying with. How do I know that they knew about the flood? Well, because we have flood stories all over the world. So if they were divided at the Tower of Babel, which they didn't finish at that point, well, it seems like they took the story with them. Just some variations here and there and all that. Satan seems to do his thing in regards of corrupting the story and all that. Doing a little here and doing a little there and all that. And screaming from the earth. Yeah, but we don't want to look at that. We want to, come up with our own insanities of millions and billions of years. You have to be kidding me. This is a pagan satanic lie. You can follow it back to India. Some say you can follow it back to Babylon. I don't know about that, but you can follow it back to India in regards to Greece, Roman, and then, Darwin made it popular in the West. It's an old pagan doctrine. It's an old pagan demonic doctrine. It's paganism. They don't believe anything are pagans. Yeah, I don't believe in anything, yet I'm promoting paganism. Yeah, but it's scientific. Really? Is it really scientific? Or did you just put this, this filthy pagan idea into science and, made it seem to be that it's science when it's not? Yeah, but we have all these fossils. Yeah, where do you... you're going to rot away, you're going to be eaten, you're going to be, rotting away pretty much. There will not be much about you left in regards of just laying there. You need to be digged under in regards of becoming a fossil and fossilized. Yeah, and so what about all the layers? Well, what do you think that these layers can be laid down really, really quickly, It's incredible. We had this mountain exploding and all that. You just bang, bang. Yep, there we go with the layers. That should be kidding me. Oh, yeah. It's all pagan bullshit and I'm so tired of it, We are created in the image of the gods. We are not created, now we're not coming from a monkey, okay? Over millions and billions of years, like, well, you can believe that. This world is just crazy daisy. You don't want the truth anyway, do you? Right? They figured out that life began in a pool of mud. Yeah, okay, that's an old, idea and all that. But they found out that it dried out and then became wet, and then it dried out, and then it became wet, and then it dried out, and then it became wet. And this process on the land, by the way, it's on the land, and this process made apparently life appear. Da-da-da-da! And apparently this life that was in the land, in the the pool of mud and all that, but apparently this life on the land that was made on the land in the pool of mud and all that became dry and wet and dry and wet and all that. Yeah, actually went into the ocean, right? And then this life became a fish. And then the fish apparently became homesick, so it went up on the land, And then this fish became a goat, and the goat didn't have enough to eat on the land, apparently, so it jumped into the sea and became a... And the story just goes and goes and goes and goes. Yeah, I must say, I had some fun with the goat story in regards of becoming a dolphin. You have to be kidding me. Hey, and if you don't believe me, I have the article just, in this pile of science magazines, which pretty much is mixed with paganism as well. So you have to be able to discern. But yeah, it's that's laying in there someplace in regards to the goat. The goat that became just maniacs, absolutely maniac, Anyway, by the way, the dolphin actually came before the goat, by the way. It was created on day 5, and the goat was created on day 6, if I remember correctly. So you have a whole problem there. Of course, you also believe that the sun was created before the planet, in regards to Earth, but actually Earth was created before the sun and the moon, so you have a problem as well there. It's all going against the Bible. Or twisting it, or... Yeah, anyway. But you people don't want the truth anyway, do you? No, you don't want the truth. I found out that people just don't want, they just want to mock the truth. They want to, what is it called? Belittle the truth. And all the rest of the words that I can't remember and all that. People are just disgusting liars and deceivers. Oh yeah, they want to teach their children about Satan Claus, right? And Christ man. Another, but in any case, you can, all these pagan things goes, this, that, and whatever, and all that. And then you have, you're teaching the children of egg-laying rabbits or hares, and, your Halloween bullshit, and, that Sunday is the last day of the week, and the pagan New Year of Janus, and... You really have to be kidding me. You people want to tell all these lies to children about, gnomes and right? You just looked at from people that, oh, you're just evil. How can you tell the children the truth? All this wicked world is just apparently a part of this. Even the Mohammedans seem to be coming. Well, of course, they're pagans anyway, so it's not really surprised that they would just go along with this bullshit. They have their own pagan bullshit, which is not biblical either. It's just a false prophet. It's very clear to see. Of course, 1.8 billion people are following him, and why would that be? Maybe because people are pretty much, they're evil. They want to follow lies and deceptions instead of following the truth. 1.2 billion Roman Catholics, papists, poopists, Romanists, that has as their head the Antichrist. Anyway, so of course, no, you're getting a little off topic, I must say. Yeah, meat. Meat has no sugar. It's wonderful. And then some antifungals as well. That's pretty much what I'm taking now of different things and all that. But yeah, meat and more meat is helps people to go on a meat diet, where they mostly eat meat or maybe only eat meat, and it helps them on their issues. Why would you people attack them? Yeah, I don't understand that. You want to attack them because it's helping them to actually, isn't that not, just, apparently vegans and vegetarians and all that, just, then do it, but, just don't fall, don't belittle others because they have found something that works for them, and helping them in regards to their quality of life, and you want to take that from them, and that's incredible. It seems very huge amount of suffering already in the world, so give me a break with this bullshit. I do understand, I understand the aspect of the animals, and I'm also concerned about that. In regards to how the animal, I want a good product. I want them to have a natural, food source. I want them to, of course, have a good life and all that, And in regards of being slaughtered, I want them to know how they are, treating the animals was just utterly evil. It's just how, treating them, kicking them, and doing these wicked things against the animals. That's not the way to do anything, That's absolutely, we're told to treat the animals, good, We're told to treat the animal, So yeah, that's a biblical doctrine of treating the animal, for example, in regards of Yeshua talks about if, I think it's, you have to remember that people are on a higher level than the animals. We're made in the image of the gods in regards of Jehovah. And, so I think first and foremost we must, help people, help our neighbor, right? And if they get healthy by doing something in regards of eating meat, and you just beat them on the head in regards of that because you're not a vegetarian anymore and all that, that's not the way to do so-called medicine, fungal poison that they put into it, and we want to have natural instances, a natural environment for the animals to live a good life. Of course we want that. That we should all be, wanting that. Also because the quality of the meat is much more better if we don't do all these things in regards of quantity before quality. It's incredible. It's just, yeah. I found out that meat is actually the best, red meat. Apparently fish and chickens doesn't have the same positive effect. Red meat has the best in regards of sheep and cow. And I'm concerned about, of course, how the animals and how it's butchered and all that. And it's just incredible how many food sources we have destroyed. It's just it's hard to get some of the things that you want to have, and sheep or a goat or something. Now, if you have a garden and all that, I would think that would be possible. At least, a sheep or something, a little sheep. You can give them in different sizes, right? You don't need to have like a variation that's hugely big and eats a huge amount. Of course, they, as I understand it, eat a lot. But we have, if you have a garden and all that, you should be in, I don't know. You can buy some extra food, right, to them if it is. But I don't know much about actually. I would think that it would be possible, but we're not allowed to have. That's a topic to learn more about. But then you would have, would have some food. Would have milk. You could have a little sheep instead of. People have dogs, right? But you don't eat dogs because they are unclean animals, at least, and they're considered, the best friend and all. But they're considered unclean according to the Bible, so you shouldn't eat those either, And And yeah, micro evolution was pretty much the only scientific thing in regards of evolution. They call it micro evolution, but it's pretty much just variations inside the what do you call it, the species, you know. So you have dogs and you can make other dogs, right? You can like make small dogs, big dogs, and this and that. You can focus on special treats, what is called the treats, I can't remember the word, anyway, and that can be promoted then in the animal when you slaughter it, and you would have milk, you know, and you know, yeah, and so forth. It's a brilliant idea. And you could probably have your plane, you know, chewed up instead of needing to buy robots or use the time on, you know, fixing the, you know, I don't know how much, it would be interesting to actually see how much an animal like that would actually be eating of the grass. And so that's the word, grass and all that, right? Just, you know, you just buy a smaller one that don't need that much food. And of course, you know, in regards of giving milk and all that, right? You know, you don't need that much milk daily, right? You know, so just a little every day, you know, adds up, you know. So, and if it's quality milk, if you know what the animal's eating, you know how it's growing, you know, yeah, it's just, yeah. If you take care of the animals, they take care of you in some sense, right? Anyway, all the milk from the milk as well, you know. Anyway, I'll stop now. Have a good one, all of you. I just, you know, I guess I'll just wasting my time again speaking to myself, as usual. Anyway, have a good one, and may Jehovah be with you, and Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and the Spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. You know, we should try to stand on the truth as best to our ability, you know.